When it comes to starting, building, and growing your online coaching business to consistent 5K months fully online, there's only three systems you need to focus and obsess over. Anything else is simply a distraction. In this video, we'll dive deep into all of this after having sold over $2.5 million in coaching programs. I'll run you through the exact plug and play script and blueprint to run if you want to start, build, and grow your coaching business. Let's not mess around. Let's dive straight into this video so you can grow, you can implement, and make drastic progress with your coaching business. As you can see here from my whiteboard, there's only three big systems you need in terms of starting, building, and growing your coaching business. So let's dive deep into all of them and what that looks like for most people, right? So the first big thing we need to look at when it comes to the growth of a coaching business is having a traffic system. This is the one system, if I have to say, out of everything, that most coaches, most content creators completely butcher. And what I mean by that is they think if they have 2 followers coming in every single week, it's enough to grow your coaching business. The reality is not. And what you think is good is probably not good enough yet if you want to scale to consistent 5K months. And what I mean by that is you really need to have a traffic system for your coaching business, which is consistently pulling in qualified leads, coming in on your profile to view your content, to like it, to engage, for them to resonate with your content and choose to follow you. You need a system where you get at least 20, 30, 40 new followers every single week. Because as with anything, a lot of the time what happens is from these 20 people that come in, you're going to have a set amount of people that they're just not going to be interested at this exact second for your coaching program. However, if you have 20 new followers coming in, even if 5% or 10% are interested right this second, you still have 2 inquiries for your coaching program every single week. So we really need to look at nailing your traffic system so you can grow, you can build things and move things forward. The easiest ways to nail the traffic system to grow your coaching business and move things forward is a couple of things to look at. The very first thing we want to look at is having very viral, worthy, short form content that is relatable, content that it resonates with the audience you want to work with, and that really speaks to them. If you have viral, worthy, short form content, you can grow your coaching business without spending any money on ads. There's plenty of videos on here to run you through exactly how to get your viral content to work and how to pop off and connect and resonate with the right type of people you want to work with. But to keep it super simple, the easiest and the simplest way to get it to work is it needs to be doing a few things. To get your viral content to work, number one is it needs to be emotionally intriguing for people. You can't just create content and hope to go viral if you're just posting content which is 5 tips to lose body fat. It doesn't really work anymore because there's just so much content like that. The content that goes viral time and time again is content that is more emotionally triggering, that grabs people, stops them, and they resonate at a deeper level. That needs to be the strategic anchor of your viral content to grow. If you take my personal page, for example, I know for a fact every time I post content about the algorithm, about AI, about social media marketing, like all of these stuff, which I'm an expert in, they're not going to get anywhere near as enough or as much engagement than when I create content, when I talk about my family values and talk about my dad or my mum and how much I respect and how much I value what they've done, or how much how like my values with my relationship with my girlfriend. Like these kind of topics are more emotionally triggering for people. Some people really agree with my views, some people don't, but that's the content that really pulls people in, right? And really goes viral time and time again. So really important thing to look at is what are the stuff that ring true to you, and what are the kind of content that your audience is going to resonate with. If you have that nailed, it's going to be so much easier for you to create content that resonates with these people, and you can sell your coaching off the back of it. The next thing when it comes to your traffic system and kind of getting that working and your traffic process is to actually be a problem solver with your content and actually lead with telling really good stories, right? If you create content which is viral, which grabs people, which pulls people in, but also tells a single story, you're going to be able to actually capitalize on attention and traffic so much more than if you mess around and you waste time and you do weird stuff with your content, unfortunately, right? So a really big thing here to look at is how can you tell good stories with your content? How can you tell a singular story with your content and tell it in different formats, right? Get really clear on being obsessive about like singularity or focus. Short form content on Instagram is going to be a 45-second video. It's going to be a 60-second video at the most. That's going to do well, right? If it's a 45-second video, you can't afford to get distracted and try and tell too many different stories, too many lessons, too many takeaways in one piece of content. It has to be one singular story, one singular lesson, one singular call to action. If you map these things ahead of time and beforehand, they'll engage better, they'll get more followers, more leads, more engagement, more likes, and that's going to allow you to grow your coaching business as well. The next thing we want to look at when it comes to a traffic system is, like, honestly, from here, guys, if you just nail these two things from your traffic system, if you just nail viral short form content and you tell good emotionally triggering stories with your content, you're going to get followers, you're going to get comments, you're going to get engagement, likes, like all of these things. Now, the big thing is how can we build trust and how can we get these people to see you as an expert in that one field you coach people in? The fastest way to do that is to share regular social proof. The social proof can be different ways, right? If you're a newer coach, you haven't got too many before and afters, keep in mind your social proof can be where you was 5 years ago. If you are a fitness coach and 5 years ago you're out of shape, you lacked confidence, you didn't know what you're doing in the gym, and now you know, now you're ripped, now you're shredded, now you've achieved this goal, you can just create content with you in mind. Here's where I was 5 years ago. I was depressed, I was overweight, I was sad, I was miserable. I've made these changes. I'm here now. I'm so much more happy. I have a better life. I've achieved these things by finding a system that works for me. And I've helped quite a few people do it along the way. Do you want to know how you can do the same? If you struggle with the same things I did, comment below. Really easy, really genuine, really authentic content and conversations, but really moves the needle forward with your content, with your storytelling, with selling your coaching program as well. So this is a really easy way to do it. The next thing as well on top of all of this is having regular Instagram stories on your feed. Have Instagram stories every single day. You know, I see a lot of coaches, a lot of advice out there at the moment being like, don't post stories every day, let them go dead, put more polls, put more stickers, sell all the time in your stories. But people aren't going to sell, the people aren't going to buy into you if you're constantly selling and they don't trust you. What we want to do with our stories is have the stories be the behind the scenes of what you do, the behind the scenes of your coaching. You know, such a powerful story the other day we had with a client, Haley. She had a story which is so simple in hindsight, but it crushed. It did insane. Her story was her on a laptop, just finishing a client call. She said, "Hey guys, I've just finished this call with one of my clients. You wouldn't believe it, but she's just lost 20 pounds in the last few weeks of in the last kind of couple months working together. She lost this weight, but beforehand she was really trying to train hard. She was really pushing herself, but she wasn't getting anywhere. Then she joined the program. We installed this system, and this system. In the last 3 months, she's achieved this result, and in her own words, she feels like she can actually sustain the results this time around and not just keep yo-yoing and kind of going back and forth and going and basically fading, right? This was the story. It was just the behind the scenes of something she was doing anyway. She was taking this call with a client. The call just finished. She took a photo, like a selfie, like style with the camera of the client smiling, super happy. Haley on the other side. Simple picture. One story. The second story after that is Haley, video camera, just literally talking about her client, how amazing results she did. That single story, not any kind of big, that single story generated her 3 leads before the story even expired. Simple, but it works. So this is something really important to look at. Also, on top of all of this as well, like For the coaches listening to this, I would really set a task for yourself to post at least 3 to 5 stories every single day on your Instagram stories, on your kind of stories, right? The reason I'd set you a target of setting these 3 to 5 is because it's going to get you consistent with doing things. But also, the second thing you'll do is it'll build consistency with your followers. If you're always sharing your values, your methodology, your belief, your routine, people are going to build trust into you. You know, a lot of coaches are scared to post the same stories every day because they think their life's not that exciting. And like, I'm not like the influencers, Plamen. I don't have that much going on in my life. I go to, I go to the gym. I might have maybe like some people have a job. They go to their job. They coach clients afterwards. They don't have that much excitement going on. They're scared to post that. But I hate to break it to you, but you don't need to have an exciting lifestyle to coach people. You don't need to be the Dubai influencer to be able to help people with the problem they have, especially if you're a qualified expert in that problem. You don't need to do that. You just need to be an expert in that field. You just need to document that you're an expert and you need to build trust. That's it. Nothing groundbreaking. So the Instagram stories itself and what you're posting on there doesn't have to be complex. Doesn't have to be you running on the beach in Dubai. That's not your lifestyle. You don't need to get overwhelmed and try and have it perfect. You just need to give people a behind the scenes. Show them that you're a real person. Show them what you get up to. Show them that you actually work with clients. All of these things sound small and silly, but people lack trust. So if you can show them, I coach clients. I actually do this. I've actually done this. I actually am qualified to do this. You're going to build so much trust, so much likability, because people don't buy from a topless picture anymore. They certainly, so if you're a fitness coach and you're shredded, it's going to get attention, but it's not going to build a trust and a credibility to actually get people in. So the stories are a really, really easy, simple way to get people to know you, to trust you, to like you, and give them a behind the scenes curtain of what you get up to, behind the curtain of what you get up to. What do you post on your Instagram stories? You may be asking. I hear you. The stuff you can be posting on your Instagram stories isn't complex. Just give them the behind the scenes of what you get up to. Like with clients, what we look at is we reverse engineer what are the stuff they get up to in their day to day, right? It might be that they go for a walk at a particular time, they go to the gym at a specific time, they read books, or they listen to audiobooks. Like if you just post these and you post them fairly consistently, it's going to build trust. If you look at some of the most successful TV shows ever, Friends, Modern Family, Big Bang Theory. I've not watched Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones probably is one of them as well that falls into this category. They all follow the same theme. They all have the characters. They all have the settings in the exact same place. I keep going back to Friends when I talk about Instagram stories, but if you look at Friends as a TV show, it's not complex. It's not like them in different settings all the time. It's the main characters of Friends being in that exact same coffee shop episode after episode. And subconsciously, that builds a ton of trust because there's not going to be any surprises. If you had a long day from work and you want to put something on to watch, you don't want to have to second guess, what's happening here? Do I have to think a lot? It's the same. It's very simple credibility. It's very simple know, like, and trust factor that moves things forward, moves the needle forward and everything, right? So that's kind of how you can look at your Instagram stories. And ultimately, that over time, over a 30-day period, is going to build a ton of trust. And also what you're going to see is when you start posting more of these polls, when you start posting question boxes, when you actually say that you have spaces for your coaching program, people are going to be much more likely to want to inquire to work with you, right? And that's going to build a ton of trust and is going to get your message super strong and super clear, right? Your goal here, once you have this, is to be looking at getting, I've put 20 to 40, but I think it's quite advanced. Even if you start off and you're not getting any engagement on your stories, you not get any engagement on your content, start by aiming to get 20 new followers every single week with your content. Make your content so good that there's no way, it's physically impossible, you're not going to get at least 20 new followers per week. What's that over the course of a single day? It's like 2 new followers a day, right? 2.5 or 3 followers, right, per day to hit that target. It's 3 new followers a day. And if your content's good, it's going to do that. It's going to bring people in, but your content, the hooks, the story, the messaging needs to be good enough to do that. If it's not, just look at the hooks. Is your message clear? If you're creating content for the younger version of yourself, would that person that you were 5 years ago, if they saw that on the explore page, would it be clear? Would it be concise? Would it be emotionally hooking enough for them to choose to follow? If it's not, that's probably what you want to look at, like fixing, right? If you're getting stuck, if you feel like you're posting good enough content but it's not converting, then drop me a message on Instagram. Say audit. I'll see if I can help you with anything and see what you might be missing. The next thing we want to look at, I've touched on this already, but you want to look at the next part of this is your lead conversion system, right? So the very first thing we want to look at is having a traffic system. A traffic system is basically getting people that have no clue who you are, have no clue what you do, get these strangers from the internet to basically know about you. That's all your content's supposed to do at the start. Get strangers that don't know you to see your face and to hopefully like you, right? That's the very first thing. The second thing we want to look at is to actually start converting these people into leads and turning them into leads for your coaching program. If you have some kind of an in-person business already, or if you've done anything in person before, so I relate back to this to my story. I was a personal trainer before I went online 10 years ago now. The first thing, the traffic system, a lot of the time was done for me when I was a personal trainer. So I didn't have to think about that. People come into the gym, I would go in with my business card in my pocket. I'd approach people, I'd wave at them. And basically, to be honest, in hindsight, that was the traffic system. Me waving at people in the gym. They'd take their headphones off and I'd introduce myself, shake their hands. Hey, I'm Plamen, by the way. If you need help with anything, I'm here. So that for me was the traffic system. Just getting strangers, they've never seen me, they don't know me. Now they know my name, they know my face. They can hopefully link it if I say that 3 times. If they see me 3, 4, 5 times in the gym, they'll probably start to build trust with me, right? That's the first step. The second step is how can we turn these people that have no idea what we do and they now kind of know your name, they know a little bit about you. How can we turn them into qualified leads for your coaching business? How can we do that? There's a few big things we want to look at. There's simple automations you can set up now. What a world we're living in. What a world we're living in, right? Back when I started coaching, there was none of that. Now what you can do is set up simple automations with AI. Anytime you get a new follower, you can set up a direct message that welcomes them, that says, hey, thank you for the follow. What type of goals do you have? What kind of content do you want to see more of? What we just want to do is greet the new followers coming in, right? Just have a normal conversation with the new followers coming to your page. Just say, hey, hey, really good to connect. Thank you for jumping into my world. What kind of content do you want to see? Are you here for if you have a fitness offer, right? Are you here for the nutrition or the training? What kind of content do you want to see more of? This is going to do 2 things. It's going to get you calls booking into your business because you're going to start having conversations. But the second thing it will do is it'll build you more awareness, more knowledge around what type of content people want to see, right? So powerful. Make the conversations you're having more around permission-based conversations, not about you trying to sell to people, right? This is a big mistake I see when people book these calls and they want me to audit their scripts and what they're saying or how they're booking calls or why they're not booking calls. A lot of the time, people aren't booking calls because they're too like aggressive with it, right? Too aggressive. They're just trying to go, hey, you should really buy my, like subconsciously what they're trying to sell is, hey, buy my coaching program right now. Would you reply to a message like that? Probably not, right? What we want to do instead with our messaging is make it more about permission-based questions, right? Get the person on the other end to tell you what they need help with. And if they don't need help with anything, it doesn't matter because you have 20 new leads coming in every week rather, to start off with. If you have 20 new followers coming in, even if 10 of these people right now haven't got an immediate struggle, an immediate pain, the 10 people that do will probably will. These 10 people you can speak to and help a ton in your DMs, in your conversations. So that's a very big thing there. Relate it back to your stories, right? Use your stories, use your polls, use your questions on Instagram. Use these things to get people replying, to get conversations sparked. It'll move things forward so much faster than you realize. Optimize your Instagram bio as well. This is another thing we look at when people book the calls for me to order their business. We look at like their IG bio. When someone sees a really good piece of content from you, and like imagine, like, which is not hard with the systems we give our clients, this is like super simple to do, but imagine for a world like right now your content goes viral. For our clients this happens, every week, but imagine if you're struggling right now, imagine you just post one amazing piece of content, it goes viral, lots of people see it, they click to see what you're about, then they see your bio and they get confused, they get overwhelmed, they're like, I don't think this guy's going to help me, and then they never follow. What we want to do instead of that is to optimize the Instagram bio before we go viral, because if our Instagram bio is super optimized, people are going to click on your viral video, they're going to click on your profile from that viral video, they're going to see what you're about, they're going to make a very snap decision. Okay, this guy helps people that have the same problem as I have right now. He's going to help them overcome it. I should probably follow because I need this help, frankly. Right? This is so powerful. So if your profile, if your bio right now, if the first impressions on your Instagram aren't clear, who you help, what you help them with, and what's your unique mechanism, they're probably not going to follow. They're probably going to tune out. So audit your profile. Like, is the stuff you're creating, is that going to attract people to follow? Or is it just going to get them confused, get them overwhelmed and think, this was a really good piece of content, but the guy probably just posts about anything, I'm just not going to bother following, right? That's not what we want to do with our content, right? So optimize your bio. The next thing you want to do is have small things that you ask and like you're giving for free, right? Give away, if you coach in fitness, whatever your coaching offer is, what are small things your audience struggles with that you can give away as free resources, right? This is where, like, going back to step one, if you're having conversations with people every day in your DMs, you're going to see exactly what people struggle with. If you send a new follower message to 20 new people each week, and they all say, I follow because of the nutrition, I really struggle with it, I struggle, and half of them or more than half of them say, I struggle to kind of stay on track because I eat out too much over the weekend. Okay, I know what I can do. I can film a 5-minute Loom video with a Canva presentation, really simple video. It's going to take me 10 minutes to film. I can film that as a guide. How to survive the weekend and not lose track of your progress. You're speaking to people's exact pain points. If you put out your stories, how many more people do you reckon have the same problem? And you've just kind of read their mind. They're like, this guy knows me. This girl knows me. I should probably follow them. It's so powerful. Like, the last thing here as well, when it comes to a follow-up sequence as well, is people that have some way, right? Have some way that you're following up with people as well. If people are getting close to booking a call, you should have some kind of a DM system, right? You should have some kind of a DM system that you're able to get people into calls. You should be able to understand people. You should be able to do a few things with your messages on Instagram. You should be able to build rapport quickly, build a quick relationship, just acknowledge, thank them, compliment them, build rapport, ask, find out their goals, what they're struggling with, and then you should be able to offer them some free help, right? In the DMs, offer them some free help and move them into a call if they're open to it. The people that are getting close to your end of your sales process in the DMs, what you should then be doing is some way to follow up with these people. This can be in a few different places, right? When you're following up, this can be literally just a Google spreadsheet. On a Google spreadsheet, just put the names down and the usernames. For now, if you haven't got anything complex set up, for our clients, we build out all of these follow-up sequences. We build out Trello board and spreadsheets and all of that. But if you haven't got that, it's okay. You don't need it for now. So what you need instead is literally just put the names down of people that are close to booking a call, right? close to, inquiring to your coaching. Put their names down somewhere. Then what you want to do, once you've put their names down, is just follow up. If they haven't booked a call right away, or if they've not replied to the first message, it's okay. People get busy. That's fine. It's no stress. But just follow up. Send them a personalized voice note or send them a quick message. What you want to do is qualify which people are ready to book a call and which people are not. Now, the last thing we want to look at is your sales process. How are we moving people to actually being able to sell them into your coaching program? So now you have a few things happening, right? You follow the system, you're winning. Traffic, you get eyeballs on your social media, you're getting people following you, 20 new people following each week as a first goal. Once you have that, you have people booking into these calls. Now, how do we sell the coaching? How do we deliver an exceptional service? How do we do that? We do that with this final system, which is your sales and delivery system. The way that works is you want to have one very clear high ticket coaching offer. And when I say high ticket, have some kind of a packaged offer, which is a transformation program, which is at least, in my opinion, to start off with, at least 6 months. It doesn't matter what you're selling, what you're coaching people on. You might be coaching on fitness. You might be coaching on injury rehab. I have a client now that does online dog coaching. It doesn't matter. It can be any kind of coaching. If people come in and they stay longer with you for a coaching program, if they join for a 6-month program and you can package up the end result to be something really appealing, they probably want to stay for the 6 months because their longer term goal is going to be more appealing. Find out what that dream outcome could be for your audience over a 6-month period, and then package your offer to be a minimum of $997. Like at least £1,000 to £3,000 for that coaching program. You're going to target the people that can afford it, and it's going to be much easier, right? And if your content's good, and if your content's speaking to if your content's going viral and it's speaking to pain points of people that have that pain point and they're in pain, they'd be able to afford that coaching program. And what you want to do with your sales, I'm not going to go super deep into this because I'm conscious this is already a long video. If you want more of a breakdown on how to do the sales call process, let me know. I'll film that video. But what you want to do with your sales call is keep it very conversational. You've done a lot of the heavy work in your messages already. You've built a rapport. You know what they're struggling with. You know what their goals are. Now what you want to do on your sales call is acknowledge, thank them for jumping on the call, run them through what the next steps are on the call. You're here. I'll ask you a few questions. I'll see if I can help you. At the end, I'll run you through how my coaching program works if I think I can help you. Does that sound fair enough? They say, yeah, amazing. Cool, John. Okay, what are your goals? What are your goals? What are you struggling with? Why do you feel like you can't get there on your own? Cover all of these questions, make notes. And when you do that, it'll be much easier for you at the end to sell them your coaching program. For newer coaches, I would recommend having some kind of a pitch deck or some kind of a presentation. So at the end on your Zoom call, you just say, hey, I'll just share my screen to run you through how my program works. We have 3 pillars or 5 pillars. Does that sound good? Cool. Okay. So here's how our coaching program works. This is pillar 1. This is pillar 2. This is pillar 3, right? Pillar 1 helps you with this. Pillar 2 with this. 3 with this. Is that the kind of help you think you need? They say, yeah, amazing. Cool. Let me run you through how the program works now. Do you want me to do that? Yeah, I do. So the program is this. So the program is a 6-month program. It's guaranteed to get you this result, providing you the work. The investment is just a one-time investment. It's for this amount, $997 for 6 months, as an example. Then you shut up, you be quiet, you let them answer, right? If you've done the qualifying good, if you've done all of these steps right and up until this point, people are going to move forward with your coaching program, right? You'd be surprised. And the worst case scenario is someone's just going to say, yeah, I really want to do, not the worst case scenario, but in a not ideal scenario, someone's just going to say, I do really want to do it. Sounds good, but I really haven't got £1,500 to spend right this second. Okay, what can we do to make it work for you today? What kind of investment works for you, right? That's how you handle the ethical objections. And then if they can't do the whole investment at once, you can split it into 2 or 3. You can work it out with them, but you're still getting that longer commitment for people to come in on your program, and you also feel like you have a safer, more secure business as well. Because if you're a new coach, if you're selling a £1,500 program, you only need 3 people to sign up in your first month, just 3 people, and that's a £4,500 online business, probably going to match your current job if you're in a job, right? I would try and get a decision on the call, not to be super salesy or sleazy, but more often than not, because if you don't get a decision on the call, people just end up ghosting and disappearing. So I would prefer for you listening to this, for your peace of mind, just to get a decision, just to get a yes or no and not have a maybe. So, is that 100% what you want to do today? Cool, let's get you started, even if it's a small deposit. And you can pay the rest on payday, as an example. Like, figure it out in terms of what they need, and then try not to leave the call with a maybe. Try and leave it with a yes or no, and just really qualify people, because then your peace of mind is going to be so much better. Because okay, this person is doing it, amazing. This person I had a call with, he said he's not doing it. I can just move on with my life and find the other leads that are interested right this second to sign up. If for any reason they say they're not going to sign up and they need to speak to their partner, or they need to check their finances, make sure you're following up as well, please. 24, 48 hours later, do the check-ins. It's super important. Get people into your coaching program, get them amazing results. You're already, I only really create content for people that are competent coaches, that are experienced, that know what they're doing. Get people in quick, on the front end. Screenshot, storytell about how good results they're getting. Ask for referrals as well. Like, one of the biggest gold mines as well for clients is setting up a follow-up sequence on referrals, right? Most coaching programs you can do this for. You can send a voice note when they join 48 hours later. Hey John, I'm so excited that you're in the program. One thing I found being a coach for this many years is people that do the program with someone else close to them, their family member or a colleague, get way better results. Would you happen to know someone that might be a fit or might be looking to achieve similar results to yourself? You send that when people are super excited to start. You're going to get more leads, more calls coming in that are already qualified, that already roughly know your price point, that the client that's just joined has almost done a lot of the selling for you, right? It's a really easy way to get from one client to get 2, 3, 4 clients just from one. We had a client recently join the program, Daniel. We showed him how to do this. He was signing up on average 1 to 2 clients per week online. We showed him how to do this, how to set up this voice note and the follow-up sequence. One client, on Friday last week, referred him 4 new people. He now has 4 new sales calls of people that know the price point, that know what the program's about, know the pillars. How likely do you reckon these new 4 people, 4 sales calls he has, are to sign up? I'd say very likely. And then the last one is just the referral. And then when the program's starting to come to an end, obviously within the 6 months or the 12-month program, just have a clear upsell process as well. So as people come into the end of the program, have a call before the program finishes, like 4 weeks before, just running them through kind of how amazing they've done and next steps from here, right? If they want to continue making amazing progress, the program can drop down to a monthly. The monthly only works out at this. So you're technically saving money, and you technically can cancel anytime if you want, within a 30-day notice period. It works really well, and that system as a whole is the biggest stuff I would be focused on, and I'd be obsessive over if I was a new coach looking to grow from 0 to my first 5 to 10K per month. Anything else I've put down here as well, but everything else at this point is probably a distraction. It's probably noise. It's probably not going to help you grow. Funnels, websites, logos, long email sequences, probably a distraction, because you don't know what to put on these emails. You don't know what to put on these funnels. You don't know what people's pain points are just yet. How much stronger do you reckon these are going to be, the funnels, the logos, the sequences, the rebrands, the branding, the colors. How much stronger do you reckon these are going to be if you have a huge list of pain points, goals, frustrations, words that people tell you what they want from your coaching program? They're going to be so much stronger. This gives you so much ammunition to build a website down the line, put in a link in your bio, put a landing page in. When you have the exact goals, pain points, and struggles, when you build your coaching business to 5K per month online, you'd have a long list of your most successful clients. What did they join the program for? What were the pain points? What goals did they want to achieve? What did they need help with? Why were they good clients to work with? You'd have all of these exact words that you can basically use in the copy of your emails, of your websites. You can build a coaching name, a coaching program name with those exact words, tone and sculpt, right? Like the amount of programs there is of tone and sculpt. The reason they're so popular, because a lot of people want to tone up and sculpt. But new coaches make the mistake of just making coaching programs they want to have. Elevate. I had that. I've seen 20 plus people have the name Elevate as a coaching program. Is it any good? I don't think so. I've not heard in my whole life, I've never heard someone come to me and say, Plowman, I want to elevate my lifestyle. I want to elevate and get fit. Is it a good brand name? I don't think so. Reshape. Does anyone ever say they want to reshape? I don't think so. Right? And I think that's the mistake coaches, especially in the fitness space, make. They try and make programs that think they sound cool to other coaches, that sound edgy, unbreakable, undefinable. I've seen a lot of different ones. I just don't think anyone has ever said, I want to be unbreakable. I want to elevate. So if you focus on these things now, like funnels, websites, long emails, the big mistake you go down doing is you're going to put stuff on there that's just nonsense, that people don't want. People are going to see a website and they see words and complex stuff they don't want. They're just going to tune out and not care and not click through, right? If you first built your coaching business doing these steps, you're going to get a lot of real life experience, what people have as goals, as struggles, as challenges. Once you have that, you can then build these things out to scale past 10K per month. But at the beginning, the biggest answers for your coaching business growth lay in the work you're avoiding, the work in the system which is here for you, laid out on a whiteboard, on a digital whiteboard. I hope you find this video helpful. I hope you take value from it. If you do, and you need more, if you want more videos like this on a whiteboard and a digital whiteboard, then make sure to hit like and subscribe. If you do want me to audit your business, there's going to be a link down below to do that and book a call with me. It's not going to be a member of my team. It's not going to be some closer that's going to try and force you into a program. It's going to be with me. If you do want to book that call, there'll be a link down below to do that. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Peace.